Whether you're married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place, listen to us as we give no fuck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks, trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers they pluck. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.
Hi, I'm Adam Ethavitable.
And I'm Sarah.
This is Dating Kinda Sucks, a podcast about dating, sex, and relationships. And this week we'll be talking about when men need to leave women the fuck alone. Enjoy the show.
Okay, the fuck alone wasn't in the agenda, but hi YouTube. Adam's going off script already early on in this episode. If you do enjoy this channel, be sure to subscribe and like this video so we can keep making these pieces of content. I would say great content, but you went off script, so I'll just say good video.
I did went off script from our agenda.
You
this
did.
Is something that I'm punchy today. And so
You don't sound punchy. You sound lethargic and sick.
Well, okay, yes, I am lethargic and sick, and also slightly insane. So maybe that's punchy. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there.
Why are you insane?
I think I've just slowly been driven insane by my time in Vermont. Is really what it is.
Oh, well, everybody predicted from the beginning.
I know, right? Well, I think part of it was I was up there and I was ready to leave and starting to plan my trip, going down to Florida. And I just started kind of feeling, I was anxious about it. And I didn't really want to leave. I did enjoy it, but I also was like looking forward to leaving. And I think my body just decided, all right, just fuck you. And so I had my nieces over, and then the next day came down with a head cold because one of my nieces is a fucking little germ machine, because they all are. All kids are germ machines. And she transmitted a head cold. So then I felt terrible. And you also felt terrible.
And you were like, you got me sick, but
So
that's
you.
Impossible. So there's also that.
I absolutely blamed you for it at first. Just through FaceTime. I was just like, FaceTime osmosis. FaceTime got me sick. And then I went into town and I did the first like big thing to prepare to get ready to drive down, which I got my snow tires switched off for regular tires, and then I was in town. I had to hitch up the horse and buggy and drive the 30 minutes into town and make sure Ma and Pa didn't need any supplies from the store while I was there. And in town I was like, I'm hungry, let me get some lunch. Oh, Subway, I'll get Subway. So I went and got Subway, and then I went home, ate my lunch, and it was like a Wednesday afternoon. And then Thursday around like noon or 1, we had considered recording, I think, too.
Yeah, we were going to get ahead of everything, but we both kind of felt like shit, but you weren't actually super dying yet.
No, I was feeling kind of blah. You were feeling blah. And I was like, all right, that's fine. And then I was like, I really think I'm going to bed. So I went to bed at like 5 o'clock on Thursday night. Now, this is, what day is today?
Today's Monday, April 4th.
Okay, today's Monday, April 4th. This is on Thursday. And I went to bed at like 5 o'clock and I had the shivers. And so it was like 50 degrees there. So it wasn't like cold, but I had the heat on and I had like my down comforter on.
That's when you know you're fucked.
Yes. And I all of a sudden just like, it was like my stomach started hurting. And I wasn't hungry. I hadn't eaten anything really except the Subway on Wednesday because of the head cold. Had made me not really that hungry. And I just started feeling like crap. And then all of a sudden my body was just like, you are going to shit yourself soon, but I didn't, but it was telling me that I was about to. So I had to basically run to the bathroom, and it was just miserable, and I spent all night just not to get graphic, but just basically everything was coming out of all ends at both times. Like
that's graphic enough for me.
Simultaneously, just like I was just projectile vomiting into the tub while sitting on the toilet. Like it was awful. I was crying for my mother. I was shivering because also here's the other thing. And this is something that people find entertaining, apparently, is I'm a naked pooper. So like I'm somebody who strips down.
Oh my God. I also did not need to know that.
I feel like you already knew that, didn't you?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, I'm a naked
I know
pooper.
about your masturbation tick where you hold it, run to the bathroom, and then release. That's what I know, which is
We know
already
too much about each other.
Yeah, I fucking know. Trust me.
Oh, but no, I'm a naked pooper. And so like like even when I would like the rare times that I would use public bathrooms, like when I was a comedian and I used to perform at this comedy club every Thursday and Friday in Cocoa Beach. Every now and then I would be like, oh, I cannot, like I need to go to the bathroom. There wasn't a part of a hotel, so I would go find one of the hotel like conference room bathrooms that was like
Where no one's at.
back in the
Yeah.
maze of bathrooms that nobody ever goes back to this bathroom, where I could actually lock the door. But then I would literally like, I'd keep my
You take
shoes.
off your shoes? Oh,
I
okay.
keep my shoes on, but I would take my pants off. And then I would hang them on the door and everything like that. Yeah, it was, full. I would use the handicap stall, so I had enough
You
space
had
to.
time to take off it when it's a shit like that, you had time to just take off your
Oh yeah,
pants,
yeah,
stick
yeah.
them
I
on the
always,
hanger
always
and
had time.
just
Always had time.
oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. I'm pretty in tune with when my body is like, about to explode on me. But it was just miserable. But yeah, so I'm also cold because I'm like feverish, so I'm like shivering while I'm sitting there because I'm naked at the same time. And yeah, it was just the most miserable thing. And I had to push. I was supposed to leave on Saturday and drive. Start driving south. I had to push that back a day. My cousin in Vermont ended up buying me like went to get Gatorade and saltines and stuff for me too. And yeah, it was miserable. It was really, really miserable. So I just and then I was trying to pack, and feeling miserable and trying to pack is just really hard too, because it's just like I'm trying to like slowly putting stuff together, but I'm just like I'm faint because I haven't eaten anything except toast and Gatorade for, for 2 days. It's just overall. So I think I just slowly just snapped. I think is what it is. But and now I'm in Baltimore right now. I'm in a hotel room, so if you hear weird noises and sounds, it's just the fucking hotel room and the fans and heater, whatever. That's just so everybody
Yeah.
knows. It's why it might not be perfect audio here this week. And I'm finally on the way back to Florida. But not like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it yet. I'm not feeling the fun of the road trip right now. Let me just say
No,
that.
you look miserable and exhausted and not wanting to be here right now.
Yeah, well, last night I stopped in outside in West Orange, New Jersey, and I have a friend who lives like 10 minutes away, and she was like, "Oh, I want to see you," and I was like, "I'm not really like in a social mood, but I would love to see you." So she came by, and literally we just sat in the hotel room and just like talked for like 3 hours, which was great. I didn't have to get up, and like I just could relax and everything like that, and that was nice. It was nice to see her, and then the second she left, I immediately went to bed. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we still had to record though because this is the last possible real chance for us to record.
Before
Um,
you're really driving multiple days in a row and
yeah, and I'm not going to a hotel, so trying to record there, and then yeah. So anyway, so here we are. And
long-winded answer. He's not doing so hot, but he's here.
I'm here,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to be enthusiastic, and I might be a little crazy, and I'm not going to apologize for that. So I'm still not 100% recovered, but we're there. I managed to keep food down, and that's all that matters. I did a series of tweets. So I woke up in the morning, and I was like, my body had nothing left in it, so I was not really worried about anything. I was like, I had taken little sips of water, and that's all I had had. And I was like, this is kind of a funny story. So I wrote a series of tweets telling the story of what happened, and I posted it like on Facebook and stuff like that, and it seemed to be enjoying it and laughing at it, feeling bad for laughing, but laughing at it. And so then, since I was just laying there, I also made it into a slideshow and then did a voiceover where I read the tweets and put it up as a TikTok, and it got fucking, it's almost at 100,000 views, and I did not expect that. I just thought I'd put some content up there, and yes, my misery has entertained a lot of people, almost 100,000 people, which is just insane.
You would go to Twitter with that fucking story.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was great. The TikTok one like is great just because it's my voiceover stuff. I think it was a lot of fun. But anyways,
What else besides you being miserable and sick?
what
Let's move
else besides being
forward.
miserable is like some little fun things. There was a whole thing. I've done a whole series that actually is really this episode of TikToks that are all about leaving women alone. And it's all become just this thing where like so many people will tag me anytime like a woman's working out at the gym, blah blah blah. So and a man comes up to bother her, and so I'll be like, give this whole thing about leaving women alone. And I say it so much that I said somewhere I was like, someone should just turn this into a little song so I can just play this instead of actually having to repeat myself over and over and over again. And enough people tagged a couple musicians on TikTok, and one of them turned it into a little bop that I thought was pretty great. So I thought I would just play that, and everybody could enjoy the little "Leave Women Alone" bop. So let me pull that up here, and here we go.
Leave women the fuck alone. 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 Leave women the fuck alone.
It sounds like a SVU theme song.
It is a little SVU. Yeah, it's funny. It was a cute little thing. I turned it into like an actual ringtone that you can download as a little MP3 as well.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, it's on my my Linktree, Linktree/available, and you can just download it as an MP3 and make it into a ringtone. But he wanted to make more and do more of it. But the other cool thing too is that there's this guy Artemis Wolls who did a popular song called "The Incompetence," where he talks about weaponized. I know you don't know, but
I was gonna say,
yeah,
don't
you're,
even ask
shrugging at
me
me
if I
already.
know. Yeah.
But on TikTok, he talks about weaponized incompetence and how men will pretend to do chores or do chores badly on purpose so that their wives will be like,
Right.
"Oh, forget it, I'll just fucking do it." And it's called weaponized incompetence when you basically try to be worse. So that, and he did a whole thing called it's called The Incompetence basically, and it's like this whole music video that did really well. He's gotten really popular. He's got a whole album. He's kind of on Spotify, but he then got
Was
tagged
he a
enough time-
TikTok person
Yeah,
first?
he's a TikTok person.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
so that's-
surprised I actually don't know him then, because I was like, if he's a celebrity or something, I would know.
But yeah. You wouldn't know if it was a celebrity. I was like, oh, he's in this movie.
TikTok,
no idea
I
who
would
he
know.
is.
So now I'm kind of sad. I don't know
yeah.
who this is.
But he's got it. He's all it all came from TikTok. But he got tagged enough in this video as well that then he turned basically my content of the video into his own song, not using my voice, but like his own song. Tagged me in it and the woman that I was stitching to, which was pretty fun. So that's really kind of cool that people are getting inspired by that, and yeah.
So now you're famous enough to have your own theme song.
But we already have our own theme song.
I know,
so-
but this is just you singing, but
true,
not really.
Not
you know what I
really,
mean?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you, I have been wanting to write TikTok music recently. Like I wish I knew how to do any of that.
Compose?
Like
Yeah.
compose, I compose anything because I can come up with the basic. I came up with our basic rhythm and the essential things for dating. The dating kind of sucks theme. I just remember telling.
You're like, I want to sound like
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I was like, yeah, here's the lyrics, and I kind of sang them in the rhythm that I wanted, and he put it all together. But I don't. I just don't know how to do it. I really would like to though, but I know that'd be one thing I'd probably eventually try. So. But that's what's going on in my life. So I'm heading down to Florida. I'm going to be in Knoxville for a week and then in Florida for about a month. If you live in either of those areas, this episode will be out Friday. So I'll be in Knoxville by the time you hear this episode's live. And I'll be there for a week. And then I'm going to be in Florida for like 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're in the Central Florida area or want to come to the Central Florida area, want to hang out, let me know. I will be all
That's
over
the
there.
hub.
That's the hub. I've got a week in Altamont Springs just so I can go to my ale house.
Oh,
Just so I can go visit my ale house. I know, isn't that funny? I was like, I wanted to stay there
You
just so I
miss
can go visit. I do. I miss my ale house. Half my bartenders are gone now, but the regulars will still be there. Unless they died. We had a couple that died.
Oh, I was gonna say, damn, way to be morbid, but okay, that's possible.
It's been a year. It's been quite a year.
Ah, damn. Well,
So-
at least you're gonna actually go out and do stuff, because you being in Vermont, you didn't go anywhere and you just drove your horse and buggy into town and then you left and got food poisoning. So yeah.
Right. I know. I was saying that I'd feel like I'd gained way too much weight, and I'm really feeling uncomfortable in my size right now. And then I was like, well, I think I lost like probably 9 pounds on that.
That's not the way to do it though, Adam. That's not the way to go.
So now I'm going
No.
to Subway every day just to try to get some of that delicious E. coli food poisoning.
Jesus. But then you had Jimmy John's today. I'm surprised you had another sub after a Subway fiasco.
I didn't want to get fast food, because like I feel like that's a bigger risk. And like Jimmy John's, I don't know.
You wouldn't do like a Panera and get a salad or something at Panera?
Salad really? Okay, so I would
Oh, we're
actually
going
eat
there.
a salad.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I promise. And people don't think I like salads. I actually really like salads, but that really scares me getting like fast food salads and Panera type salad because Panera I consider kind of fast foodish, just like Subway is ish, you know. But like salads always scare me because I'm like, all it takes is like, I feel like that's a higher risk of getting you know like food poisoning from bad vegetables or not being washed. The food, the vegetables not being
Fair,
washed. So
fair.
I'm always really worried about that. So I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it hasn't happened to me, so I don't worry about that. But
Yeah,
I would just eat toast and bananas until I felt more
I
comfortable
don't have a
being able to
toaster
have
now
that.
that I'm in
Yes.
hotel room life, so you know. But just you
Yeah.
know, the sub's been good. It's settled, and then I was able to eat real food, and so I'm happy with that. And hopefully, I'll be
Lovely.
alive by next week. You know, I
You
won't
will be. You will be.
shit myself to death. You know.
Well, we'll know where to find your clothes. Somewhere in Baltimore.
Yeah, and my clothes will be in a little like a little path on the way to the bathroom. Except
Enough
my
about you shitting your brains
yes,
out,
let's
please.
talk
Can
about
we
that.
please stop? Fucking
Well,
A.
yeah. Yes, let's go ahead and stop about that. I want to do a quick shout out to I've been figuring out that we actually have listeners from all across the globe,
That's
and
not new news, though.
not new news, but like I've been paying more attention to it, maybe is what it is. And so I wanted to start doing shout outs to some of our new listeners in other countries that have been trending, where dating kind of sucks has been trending in their country. And so because it means we have more than one listener, likely, unless the population's really fucking small. So so
Some
I'd love
little
to
island. No.
yeah, I know. Well, that's some of them are actually because I'd really like to give first of all a shout out to our new listeners in Macau, which is an island off the coast of China.
Okay.
We're in the top 50 podcasts there for a bit. So Belize, to our new listeners in Belize, in Qatar, in Finland, in Slovenia. And then big shout out to Barbados, where not only was dating kind of sucks the number 2 podcast in like the society and culture category, which is where we are, but we were the for a little while. I think we were in the top 10 of of like all categories of podcasts in Barbados. So I don't know who are Barbadosians. What do you call
I
people from
have no
Barbados?
idea. Don't ask me. Nope. Don't ask
We're
me.
gonna go with Barbadosians. But if you're a Barbadosian and you're listening, I just want to give a shout out to all our international listeners because it's really fantastic that we have people from literally all across the globe who tune in and dating kind of sucks. And so thank you so much.
That is
And,
pretty amazing.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's take
We
a.
reference Ale House, and they're like, "Oh, that one watering hole in Florida." You know what I mean?
I hope that there's someone like from like Qatar who's like you know eventually takes a trip to Florida. Where do you want to go? I want to go to Ale House. I've heard about this
The
Ale House
Ale House in
in
Altamont
Altamont Springs.
Springs.
Yeah, they're like we must go to this Ale House in Altamont Springs, and they walk in and they're like, this must be the bar where he sits. Like, wouldn't that would be so fucking weird and
I would
funny.
die. Yeah, that'd
That
be
would be
good though.
hilarious. And then dances royale. But yes. Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. So what's
Oh,
going on in
Adam.
Sarah's life?
Fucking nothing. I am so goddamn frustrated since coming back here. And I think all my excitement from being out of the country just fell flat getting back to Nashville. And that's not to knock on Nashville. It's mostly knocking on the fact that I can't plan my life because I'm waiting on answers from other people on whether my travel plans are a yes or no. And I hate relying on others when it comes to shit like that, but I'm kind of pigeonholed in right now. So I've just been spending my weeks just wasting away here. I don't want to plan for a weekend trip because God forbid they're like, "Oh, we're ready." Yeah. You know?
Yeah,
I have
it's
to be
great.
vague, but
I know you have to be vague, but it's also just funny that you know you also have a boyfriend there, and so aren't you guys doing anything fun? You're just like, I'm just wasting away, fading away to nothing while I'm here.
well, how do I put this? It's been rough getting back because we're not in the like Master of None and I are fine, but we're in this weird spot where he's in limbo. He got a job offer and like right as I got back, he got the job offer and they've been kind of holding this carrot of like, well, now I'll fill out this. Well, now I'll fill out this. And they haven't given him a start date yet. So it's been a couple weeks of like a background check and this and that and this and that. So he's just sitting here like, I need this fucking job. I need a start date, but I'm kind of stuck based on them giving me a start date. So it sucks because it's like the job he's really wanted, and I'm just like, fuck that job, get another one, get another one. Like they're just fucking around with your time. So
Your patience is one of those things that everyone knows
it's been
does
4
not
fucking
exist.
weeks.
I know
It's been
you have
4 fucking weeks though.
you
How
have the worst sense of patience of anyone I know, by the way.
depends on the situation. When you get a job or when you have travel plans, you expect to figure that out pretty fucking soon of if you got the job or not after interviewing with people, after talking to other people, and they're going to make a decision. They don't just sit on making decisions for 3 fucking weeks and then go, "Oh, now we're going to contact this person." Or, "Oh, we really want to hire you, but we're going to make you wait 2 weeks and then ask you to do a background check and just fucking ghost you." I think that would wear away anyone's patience if they had a lot of patience.
Oh no,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I know.
This is the situation I'm in.
You're right. You're right. I'm just saying that I think that that maybe sometimes you are kind of an impatient person in general. I've seen it.
Oh, always bashing me on
I'm
episodes.
not bashing you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. It is for. I will admit that it could be frustrating to wait for a job too. But I know that you I've been on the side of your patience where you're just not. Sometimes when you want something.
I just want to
You're like,
go
you
out
want
and
it fucking
fucking do
now.
it.
Yeah,
I just want
exactly.
it
You
now.
don't
And
want to wait. You
there
don't
should
want to
be
hear
no reason.
excuses.
There should be no reason why I'm sitting around twiddling my fucking thumbs. If I want it, if I know the steps to get there, I should just fucking work towards that and get it. But when I have obstacles like incompetent ass motherfucking people, that's the shit that annoys the hell out of me because I don't have a say. And I'm like, how can I get around this inconvenience? You're pissing me off. And that's where I get frustrated yeah. And in both scenarios, I can't get around these fucking people.
I would like to thank Sarah, since I'm not really in that kind of mentality right now, for stepping in for the ranting session of the episode.
Already, damn.
I know. That was great. We needed a rant.
I could have been in Peru right now, but instead, and I know logistically I wouldn't have gone to Peru, but I had the opportunity to be in Peru and fly from Colombia to Peru and be there for a month. And I said, no, because I have these other plans, but they're not really concrete yet. So I'm going to go back to Nashville. And guess what? None of that fucking shit's happened. So I'm just sitting here again, wasting my days away. The end.
The end.
I'm just so fucking miserable. And I went from nice fucking tropical spring weather to fucking bullshit not spring yet weather either, and it's cloudy every day. So I'm really fucking pissed and over it. I just want answers, because I call you every fucking day of like, I still don't know. He still doesn't know. We're just sitting here in fucking purgatory. So that's what's new in my life. Just misery every fucking day.
Abject misery and pain and suffering.
Like, yeah, things could be worse, but I felt like the beginning of the year, at least January, February, was like, cool, my birthday, going to Mexico, awesome, trip, cool opportunity to go to Colombia, awesome, in Colombia, got another amazing opportunity, waiting to hear back, go back to Nashville, nothing. And I'm like, what happened to the cool things that were happening earlier? Like, the fuck? So
Right, of course. Well, the cool things will be coming, I promise. You do have a cool thing coming up, though, soon.
Oh, I guess I do, which I need to plan for. So Master of None and I next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow, will be our 2-year anniversary.
Now, is this how do you calculate the anniversary?
This was when we had our first date.
Okay, so it's a 2-year anniversary when your first date was.
When we first started dating. Yeah.
Well, now, hold on. The video date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you counted it for like the first time you met each other in person.
That's the only date I had written down on my calendar because I was bored in the middle of quarantine.
Right.
So I penciled in like Skype, Zoom, or Skype date with so and so, and I wrote it down. And so when I was going back looking at like when did we start dating? Somewhere I thought it was like March, and I was like, oh no, it's April 12th. So it was actually on Easter 2 years ago. We were like, yeah, we're not doing anything on Easter. So
right. I
the day that the quarantine was all going to be lifted and we'd go back to normal.
That's right. Everything was going to go back to normal.
Yeah.
So you got what's on the agenda for the 2-year anniversary? Something
Well, honestly feel bad because since he doesn't have a job and I'm just like,
Sure.
I'm bored and want to spend money on bullshit because I'm bored. I'm just like, let's go here. Let's go here. Let's plan a weekend trip here. And he's like, not until I get this job. Not until I get this job. I'm not spending a lot of money until I get this job, which is
That's
fair.
understandable. Yeah.
Understandable. But I'm just like, okay, but for our anniversary, what are we doing? He's like, we have an anniversary. I'm just like, I'm going to fucking slap you outside the
Okay.
head.
Okay.
Like,
Well, wait, so
what the fuck?
you collectively don't have an anniversary. You have an anniversary individually.
But I
You
told him this
specifically.
last year too, though. It has been brought up. It's not like we ever celebrated a month anniversary or a 6. We were never that couple to celebrate 6 months of dating or whatever. But I just knew that that's when we started dating. So I was like, well, it's been 2 years. Like we should probably go out to dinner and do something nice. And he's like, okay. I mean, where do you want to go? And I'm like, can you fucking plan it, please? God damn it. But he knows where I want to go. So I'm
Right.
just like, put in a reservation, but it is kind of pricey. So then there's also that.
Well, hopefully he will, and that'll be nice. And you could just, as a gift, you could get him you could cash app him $100, and then whatever he pays for the dinner will be offset.
I mean, uh, I am the rich man. Man, I'm just like,
No,
fuck.
I mean, here's the thing, and I know because your roles are reversed right now, especially because he's not working. But I when I've dated and we've had any type of like thing worth celebrating, it was never like whoever paid for it. It was never a thing, that really mattered to who it was. I mean, almost all the time it was me, but I wasn't like, if she was all of a sudden like, I'm gonna pay, I would have been, oh, okay, like, that's great, I appreciate it. So I don't think like, yeah,
Well, I
since it
think we
is,
would just split it with the price
you're
of
not
this.
okay. Hold on. First of fucking
Uh,
all, you are absolutely not splitting your anniversary dinner. Like it's a weird thing to do, to just split the bill when a couple goes out to a romantic dinner. I'm sorry. That's
You're not
fucking
wrong,
weird.
but I'm just thinking with the situation right now and just
Then
money
you
being
just say,
tight.
"Hey, sweetie, I am going to take us out for a love. I'm going to celebrate our anniversary. I'd like you to make the reservation, but it's all on me because I want to treat us. I want to have a good time. I don't want you to stress. I want to treat us. I'm
Okay, but
Scrooge fucking McDuck, rolling
I
in my
am okay.
fucking bank of my. I got my separate little roll, thing of gold coins that I swim in every night, so I can
Shut
go
the fuck
ahead
up.
and pay for this. And I don't want you to stress about it, but I've got this, and we're gonna have a
But
good
why
time."
do I okay, and you make a fair point. But like I want to get wine and dine too though. When the fuck is that going to be my turn?
So, but I would say tell him this and say, but I would like you to make the reservation and make an effort in like where we're going out and like make plans. I will pay for everything, but I'd like you to make the plans so that like like we can do this together. Like have him make the plans and say, I don't want you to worry about cost. I've got it because we know you do.
Why you always got to be like that?
I'm just
Goddamn.
saying, so that way you can feel like he's putting in the effort of making this happen, but then he doesn't have to stress about it. And so, and he knows what you like. So, tell him, that you're hoping that it'll be something that matches what you want, but you've got it all covered. So you don't have to worry about it. Like just say, like give him your fucking credit card and be like, here, whatever. Like I'd like to really do something nice for us, like, to your anniversary. Here, you know what I'd like,
You're right.
but I will cover everything. But I would love for you to plan it because that would show me how that's how you can pay for it, is by planning it for me and showing me your appreciation, or not appreciation. No, that's the wrong word. Showing me like like
Yeah.
the celebration, that you care for it that way, that you're
The problem is
big for it.
I'm the one saying 2-year anniversary and I'm the one saying we should go here and then I'm the one paying for it too. So it's
Yeah.
not even like anything is a surprise, I would even if I was paying for everything, I would still be in on all of the surprise. Like it's either it's a surprise and I'm paying for it, or I plan everything and then pay for it because there's no alternative. Like the surprise thing,
But
I
this won't
highly
be
doubt.
forever. This isn't a forever thing. This is just because he's waiting for this job to
It's
start
been for a
finally.
long time
It
now.
has. It
It's
has.
been
and
for a long
It's
time.
been a
Like
difficult economy recently.
I'm
I don't know
fucking
if you know,
tired.
but there's been
I
this thing called a pandemic that we've been going through. A lot of people have had a hard time finding good jobs and things like that.
Trust me, I know. But it's even
Some
more
people lost their
challenging.
houses and they're just driving around the country aimlessly and just staying in random people's
I
suicide
know.
shacks, you know? So,
I
like, you
know.
just never know what people's lives are like.
I'm just
So,
privileged. Okay, fine.
I'm
Fine.
just saying, because so
I'm just
there's no
saying
surprise. So there's no surprise. But he can maybe use it. Say, maybe there's some surprises he can do that are minor. But if he puts the effort in, that's what matters for you, I think.
yeah.
And then you can pay for it, which is what he's most concerned and stressed about. So you alleviate that stress too.
Yeah. At this rate though, we're a week out. If there's not even a fucking reservation made and
It's
he
not
hasn't
fucking Valentine's Day. There's gonna be reservations on a random Tuesday fucking night, no matter where you're going in
This place
Nashville.
is fucking hard to get into though, unfortunately.
Well, you can do an early night or a late date or an early date or something like that.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, meh, whether we do something or not, whatever. Like, I'm just like, because I'm so blah about everything else, I'm just like, oh yeah, I guess we should do something. That
You
would
guys
be
deserve a
fun.
nice night to
Yeah.
go out and
We
do
do.
something
Don't
fun.
get me wrong. I
Yeah.
definitely think we do. But like, I think he's tired of all of the shit that he's been going through with the job search. And then I'm just tired of not getting answers and just feeling like my life is in limbo. So I'm just like, we can put something together and be excited, but we're still like both miserable until we get what we want. So yay, we love each other. And I guess it makes it seem like we're not happy right now, but just
Right.
like coming back, those are like the two main stress points in our lives. And then we're just kind of like, well, we can't do anything else right now, so we'll just hang out, and that's all fine, and like we're happy, but we just want the rest of our lives to be figured out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's hard when there's limbo and you don't know what the fuck you're gonna do the next day or the next week or whatever. I mean, I've got my
I'm just
life
like,
planned until the end of May, and then I don't
yeah.
know what's happening in general. So I understand.
Yeah, and that's how I was last year. And now I'm like, oh, I want to go to Japan at the end of the year. And I'm just like, how the fuck is that going to happen with my job and with all of this shit? And I'm just like, oh my God, but I know it's like, I know everything that I want, but the pieces are just not falling into place right now. And I'm just like, how much longer do I hold on and make plans for those things or abort them and go a different direction?
Yeah,
It's
that's
therapy
true.
session right now. But like
I
that's
know,
just
I
like
know.
honestly, oh God, it's just so depressing.
I think he'll
uh
have some answers. He'll get his job answers. Like it'll happen, and then once it's done, you'll feel so much better. Like you'll be able to start planning everything. It is sometimes hard to just figure that part out. And that's kind of how I was when I was trying to figure out when I was leaving Vermont. I was like, I don't know exactly when because I'm trying to figure out when I'm going to get my tires switched because that was the important part. And then I had to figure out how much time I needed to pack everything up and all that because, I needed to do that, but I needed to be able to get, and so like I couldn't really plan where I was going to be and everything until I had the appointment. I couldn't make the appointment until the place was taking appointments. And so it was just a huge thing. And so, yeah, but it'll fall into place. The pieces will fall into place. And pretty soon you'll be so busy you won't even know what to do.
I know. Like, I didn't mind, and I like working remotely, but I didn't mind it as much when I was in another country and
Well,
doing
no
fun things
shit.
every day. I know. But now that I'm back here and I'm just like, oh, the work, oh, this room, oh, I want to go back on the road again. I got a taste of what I wanted and how I kind of want to live my life. And now that Master of None hopefully gets a start date for his new remote job, like the pieces are aligning, but I'm just like, oh, fucking hurry up already. Like, I want to book a trip to Guatemala already. Like, I'm ready to be back on the road again. And I'm just sitting here like, well, gotta fucking wait until he gets his answers and I get mine. Anyways, I could go on forever and sound like a broken record, like you shitting with no clothes on. So, in conclusion,
In
this is all shit.
conclusion, this is all shit. Well, that was our therapy session for
What a depressing fucking start to the
no,
episode. My God.
I don't think so
Adam,
at all.
I'm dead and dying. Sarah, everything sucks.
Right, I
Yay.
know. you know,
Sometimes it's like that. I don't know.
it's April. We got fucking people slapping people. We got terrible April Fool's jokes. We got all types of weird shit happen. I don't know if you heard about that, by the way. That happened. This whole thing, but I know you don't like follow celebrity news. But
Bitch, I fucking told you it happened. Get the fuck out of here. You act like
we were talking
no, because
earlier. Sarah and I were talking earlier about how she has no celebrity knowledge, and
that a listener was listening to past episodes saying, "Oh, I agree with you, Adam. Sarah doesn't know any pop culture. I don't understand why." And I'm just like, "Damn, okay. I didn't grow up spending all my time watching movies and TV shows and giving a fuck about celebrities. Damn."
I know. It's
Damn,
funny.
I was outside doing shit at dance classes, extracurricular activities. I wasn't at home.
Right?
Damn.
I know you're busy. You had a busy life.
And now I don't. And
Now-
now I
now
know
you
about
just-
someone slapping another person at the fucking Oscars. And I'm like, wait, who am I? I don't fucking care.
Right? Exactly. Why would you care?
I don't.
All right. Well, I think this is probably a good time for us to go ahead and take a break. And when we're back, we'll be starting with the topic about leaving women the fuck alone.
Leave women the fuck alone. Da, da, da,
Is that- I
da.
love
Is that how it goes? No?
That's pretty much how it goes.
It's kind of funny that we're doing this topic almost a year later, because last summer I had things blow up on TikTok where I was telling men to leave women the fuck alone. And I think I made one about being at a grocery store and don't say she has nice melons. If she doesn't look at you, don't approach her and say hello. She doesn't fucking want to hear you. And then I did a couple other ones, and all of the incels, obviously on TikTok, rushed to the comments and were like, "Oh, so I can't even say she looks pretty? Oh, but I'm giving her a compliment. It's my duty as a man." And oh yeah, like why
I
don't you
remember that. Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. Oh,
yeah.
why don't you want compliments? You're just ugly. Oh, you have a mustache. And then that's when all like the fucking terrible comments came. And I was like, I hate TikTok. I'm not going to be on this app anymore. Fuck this shit. And then you took over from there where you're just like, man, shut the fuck up.
That's true, actually. Yeah, and I had forgotten about that, but I do remember that. And you did. You had so many shitty comments from these dudes that are just like, it's like I don't understand. Like I don't understand the mentality, like of like a woman saying, "Please leave us alone," and then deciding to say, "Nah." You know, like like who does that? Who?
Have I have I ever told you about my story being on besides the Las Vegas fiasco when I was there, that the one night stand and everything?
Right.
I was at the I think the Cosmopolitan, like the chandelier bar there. And my friend at the time and like a bunch of other dudes, we were all talking and chatting. And this one macho alpha male comes up and starts hitting on my friend. And she's like, "Look, buddy, and she has an attitude, but like in just like I can take shit and dish shit out, blah, blah, blah." She's like, "Look, buddy, I'm not interested. Thank you for coming over here and offering to buy me a drink. I don't want a drink. No, thank you." He's like, "Oh, don't you want a drink? Like, I'm not saying you have to fuck me." And she's like, "I said no. Leave me alone." And he wasn't getting it. And I went into, I don't think I've ever told you this.
No,
I went
no, I've
into
never
like
heard this.
robot mode. I was like, please leave. Because she was starting to get like really riled up of just like, "Listen here," but and get in his face. I was like, please leave. And I was like, "Dude, you really need to leave right now." He's like, "Don't fucking tell me where I can and cannot go."
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
"You're going to want to leave soon." And then like she got like right in his face. And then this other dude who was with us like was like, "Bro, you need to leave her the fuck alone right now." And I was just like, please leave, leave us alone. Like that's what I resorted to. And that was what, 4 years ago?
Wow. Yeah. And yeah, and of course nothing has gotten better since then with
Nope.
with men. Yes, it's somehow gotten worse. I you know, and I know we have a lot of listeners who don't use TikTok, but it has created a community of people, which is great because there's a lot of great content creators. But there's also it's enabled so many shitty men. It's at the same time allowed a lot of women to see how shitty men are, like and shitty men can be, and which I think is good. So it's got got its benefits, but the whole concept of just leaving women alone all comes from just this idea, like it's all an entitlement issue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how many videos I get tagged in on a regular basis of a woman, working out at the gym. That's one of the worst offenders, where a woman's just sitting there working out, and someone has to come up and try to hit on her while she's in the middle of like doing sets. Have you ever had that happen?
I've had that happen, but I did see another video on TikTok that went viral, and it was an older man who approached a woman at the gym, and he was like, "Hey, just want to give you a tip. You might want to try like this," and like actually helped her with her form. He's like, "You don't have to. do whatever. And a lot of people in the comments like, that's how you approach someone at the gym, because he kind of waved. He's like, hey, can I help you with it? And he wasn't being, he didn't like touch her or anything, but he was like, you might want to try holding it like this instead. She's like, oh my God, thank you. And then he walked away. And people were praising that. And I was like, I don't know if that was even necessary, but I've had that happen. And then I've also had men approach me and say, you look like, I like that outfit you're wearing, or what song are you listening to? And I'm just like, no, don't fucking
What song are you listening to? Because you have fucking earbuds in, right? And they're trying to talk to you, like but actually, that's the old guy talking to somebody. Here's the other thing. I think that's inappropriate too. Like, unless you fucking work at the gym, or unless she's at like risk of legitimately
or really hurting herself.
no. But if she's just doing something a little wrong, and you feel like I have to go in there and correct her form, and you don't work there, that's like this entitlement that it's still him getting access to her. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's still
she could have been actually doing something that could have harmed her though in the video. I didn't like read too far into it, and I think she might have been holding it in a way that could have like caused injury. But I mean, if it's a little wrong in form, if like you could have been standing a little bit wider or whatever, you don't need to go up and tell them, hey, open up your stance. Like, fuck you.
or go talk to a gym employee and say, hey, listen, there's someone doing stuff that I'm worried they're going to hurt themselves. I don't know if you want to tell them, and let the gym employee go say something. Like, it's not, don't go in there unless, like I said, unless they're an immediate need to hurt, like immediate risk of hurting themselves. Then I don't think it's something where you need to like go in and do that. I feel like that's also inappropriate, because it's just leave them the fuck alone. Like, honestly, like, it's just why? Because here's the thing: if he'd seen a guy standing next to that woman doing the same thing, I guarantee he wouldn't walk up to the guy and say the same thing.
And but okay, if I want to disagree, because I go to gyms all the time and I've seen it both ways. I've seen it where the creepy guy approaches the girl and corrects for him. I've also seen it where the older guy corrects the younger dude on here's how to do this better, because he's learning how to lift stuff at the gym.
As a
and
stranger,
he didn't ask
like,
you've
noticed that it was
as a stranger. I have seen a strange, an
I'll
older
defer
man.
to that.
I have seen that. I'm saying it's not definitely not as common though. So I'm not trying to discredit you, but I'm saying I have seen the instances where an older man who's more skilled goes and helps a younger guy at the gym, and he didn't ask for help.
If you are the man and you wouldn't go up to another man and do it, then don't do it to a woman. Maybe is the better lesson to take away from that. Like, if you're not willing to go up to a man and correct his form, then don't fucking go up to a woman and correct her form, because that shows the reason you're doing it is not to correct form. It's to basically get in someone's personal space.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so the gym, there's so many different videos out there of the gym, and I do think that, once again, that any type of unsolicited breach of someone's boundaries is inappropriate. And one of the big arguments men are, well, yes, but women should leave men alone too, or whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, because
I was gonna say, when are we not leaving them alone?
Yeah, for the most part. But but like, if a woman talks to like, yes, women do occasionally approach strange men in random things, or say things to, I was when I was getting my tires changed out, I had my AirPods in, and it's pretty obvious that I have AirPods in, because it's not like I have hair covering them or anything, or a hat covering it. And I'm watching something on my phone, and this woman sat across from me, and she wanted to talk to me about my beard, and then wanted to talk to me like,
God.
And I acknowledged her with my AirPods in, and then and I kept doing. Then finally she started talking again, so I pulled one out and answered her briefly, and I put it back in, and she just kept talking.
Those people though, there's always going to be those.
So it's like, it does happen. Women do talk to men, and and that was annoying. But also, I was never at any point in my life during that period there worried that if I said, hey, will you please just leave me the fuck alone, that she was going to be like, bitch, and then punch me in the face. Like, that was not something that I was worried about. But
fair.
But that is something that women have to worry about with men, that rejecting someone who's already being rude is something that puts them at a risk of some type of physical harm, potentially, because men take rejection so poorly.
It's even men being nice. I was in a situation not too long ago where I was talking to a guy. He was like the leader of this class or whatever. And I thought he was really nice. And we were chit chatting after whatever. And he's like, oh, like follow me on social media and blah blah blah. And because of like the company that he owned or whatever, I followed him on social media, which was all fine, and supporting local businesses, whatever. And then I just felt like he got really weird on, like, he started DMing me a lot and just like asking me a bunch of questions, being a certain way. And I was just like, I hate to be this person, but like, stop fucking messaging me. I was nice to you in person because you seem nice, but like now you're stepping over this, trying to be super friendly to me. And I feel like I need to be friendly, but I really don't want to fucking respond to you. And if I stop responding, then I'm a fucking bitch. So it was just like a weird situation.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think we kind of jumped ahead too,
I
and
know.
I realized, yeah, we like dove right into this without like what I want to. Maybe I realize what I want to start with is let's explore the whole reason of why are we doing this? Like why is we're talking about leaving women alone? And I think the best way to maybe approach it is talk about some of the arguments men have for why they shouldn't leave women alone. Like, why can't women just say no politely and leave and be respectful and just say no if they don't want to be approached? And that's kind of a very important reason, and that made me think of it, is that our society has taught women to tone police themselves. And tone police is obviously when you regulate your own tone, because you are worried about what's going to happen if you don't. So women as a whole, not every woman, but just women as a general group, tone police themselves in order to avoid enraging men. And that's why we talk about, when we talk about consent and we talk about asking a woman out and things like that, that anything other than a fuck yes.
It's a fuck no.
Right.
Yes.
Because there are these whole shades of gray where a woman is not going to say yes, but she might say maybe, or might say, oh, I'm not really sure, or might just kind of hem and haw, or I'll let you know later. And all of those things are tone policing. They're all women trying to be nice.
Yeah, I'll go meet you I'm gonna go to the dance floor, but I'll be back later, and then we can, just to avoid the final no.
Right, right. Well, exactly, because they're all tone policing in order to avoid having to say a no, because that avoids the confrontation and the risk. And so men have to understand, if you don't get an enthusiastic yes, then take it as a no, because anything else is them not trying to say no, but trying to avoid saying no, but still saying no. And they do that because men will turn instantly from, oh, you're so hot, I'd love to take you out, I'm not interested. Well, fuck you, you fat bitch. I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, immediately. And you're not even that hot. Well, then why did you say it the first time? Like, that just shows that guy was a complete piece of shit, absolute disingenuous piece of garbage, who, was just thinking with his dick, and then immediately just gets defensive like a little child as soon as he gets rejected.
Yeah, it's not even as much as hurting their feelings, because like at the end of the day, fuck their feelings, but it's like, how will his feelings turn after that? If he feels hurt, then how is he going to respond? Because he's gonna feel hurt or a type of way regardless.
Right, right. And I think, men who are emotionally healthy know how to handle rejection. I mean, I've asked people out and gotten rejected, and yeah, it always hurts to get rejected, but you're like, okay, I understand.
Shit happens,
There
yeah.
has to be, first of all, there has to be mutual attraction, there has to be interest, there has to be desire, there has to be the time, the space, everything has to be ready for someone to say yes. And so you have to realize that most of the time it's going to be a no. And so you get used to, and I think like people in sales get used to getting no all the time and everything like that, and so it's a little bit less. But there's that whole saying that we talked about, I think, on our conversation with Elizabeth Donaldson,
Mm-hmm.
about men's biggest fear is being rejected, and women's
And
biggest
women
fear is being murdered
murdered.
by the
Yep.
men they reject. Yeah, and I mean, it is such a true statement. And so the leaving women alone is a good way for men to understand that you putting the onus on the woman to say no is not going to work, because women are generally terrified of saying no to a strange man, because they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to get physically hurt, they're going to get verbally assaulted, they're going to get stalked, they're going to have someone try to drive them off the road. Like, who knows? Like, if someone honks, if a dude honks at a woman driving in, he's driving by and he's like, hey, thinks she's hot, and she gives him the finger, and then he like drives her off the road because in this rejection rage, because she dared to say no. How dare she? And so that's why we need to tell men to leave women alone.
And so all the TikTok men or just men in general who are just like, I should be able to approach a woman and you're getting heated now. You're who we're fucking talking about. Like, you didn't even get a no, and you're already being aggressive and fucking mean when we're just talking about this. Like, it's the men who get upset about this topic in general are the ones that women are fucking afraid of.
Absolutely.
Did you just mute yourself? I was like, what happened?
I was like trying to get it to unmute, and I couldn't get it to unmute. And I was like, yes. So let's continue to talk about that. The men are like, well, how, I can approach whomever I want. That was one of the arguments you got on your TikTok video. Was
That's
like,
always the argument that I get.
I have the right to approach.
It's a public space, and this is not the same. And even I think we should lay back on recording people in public that are just doing things in public to a degree of just like they're on their phones and you're like,
Sure.
oh, they're wearing a stupid outfit. Like, you don't need to record them in public. You also, in that same breath, don't need to approach someone just because they're in public. But the argument is always, well, it's a public space, so I can talk to whoever I want. I'm like, that's not how the fucking world works. Like,
Right.
You can't just go up to someone and just be like, oh, hey, like, I think you're hot, blah, blah, blah. You don't know if they're married. You don't know if they're in a relationship. Might not be an appropriate fucking place to do it at your kid's preschool, or, you know what I mean? Like, it can't just be anywhere, at a funeral, at a wedding. Like, you just can't do it because it's the public space, because let's refer to all public spaces if that's your fucking argument.
Well, and that's the thing. And yes, I mean, yes, you have the right as a, especially if we're talking about like in America, you have the right.
There's no law that says you can't.
Right.
Fair.
Yes, you have the right to approach people in public. Yes, you do. Well, yay for you. Yeah, okay. It's like people who say, well, I have the right freedom of speech. I can say racist things. I can say sexist things. I can say, terrible things. Yes, you do. But that doesn't mean there aren't repercussions for that. You have the right to say it, but you also understand that you're opening yourself up to judgment, to negative reactions from other people. Have the right to react to you being a piece of shit however they want as well. And that's what these people never understand. Like, they always want to have the right to do what they want without any repercussions or any actions coming back on them as a result of it.
No, because the person who tells them no or reacts in a way that they didn't expect, they're fucking snowflakes. Oh, you're so sensitive. Oh, you're like, and then it becomes like a political fucking spectrum of how you responded to that. And it's just like, no, that's just a human common decency to just not be shitty.
Right. Respecting someone's personal boundaries should never be a political discussion. And
Right.
if you make it a political discussion, then you're just a piece of shit, and you're probably a Republican.
I knew you were going to say that. I was waiting for it. There we go.
But only because it feels like every time it's like, the personal space thing, like every time you see someone who's like doesn't wear a mask and gets asked to wear a mask, and then they walk around coughing on people and getting in people's faces, it's always like, oh, so-and-so, a registered Republican, or so-and-so was at a Trump rally. It's always like, why? Like, why? What is it with this specific thing about, I don't want to respect your personal boundaries?
Because it's just the simplicity, like, it's the simple mind of saying it's a right. And
Yeah.
that's all that is the argument and the hill that they will die on. And
God,
they can't see
I wish
anything,
they would die on it.
but they can't see anything other than the word right.
Correct.
It's right,
that's-
and
that's
it's a
good
right.
point. Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, okay. So I think we've taken that right argument and said, okay, it's a stupid argument. You're done with that.
Right.
The other argument that people want to say is, okay, so when is it okay? Like, and one of the not one of the videos, almost every video I've done about this, I say, leave women alone. If you see women just out in public living their lives, leave them alone. Okay, it doesn't matter what they're doing. If they're at a bar, if they're in a at the grocery store, if they're at the gym, if they're walking down the street, whatever they're doing, doesn't matter if they have earbuds in, earbuds out, whatever. Leave them alone unless they give you an abundantly clear signal they want you to talk to. They want you to talk to them.
Or they're
And-
like actually in danger, like the situation
Well,
of
right. Well, yeah,
then
obviously. Like, if
then
someone's
talk
about
to them.
someone's about to
Something.
walk into traffic, then yes. But
Hey, yeah. Be
And-
a human and tell them. But
right.
don't be like, oh, I can't talk to you because you're a woman. Like, no.
Which is the other thing people will be like, oh, well, I guess I'll just never say a word. Even if she was about to like die, I'm not even going to say anything. Like a woman could be on fire and I won't even blah, blah. I'm
I
like, oh my
fucking
God.
hate men.
Yeah.
Oh my
Are you a fucking
God.
3-year-old? Like, grow the fuck up, you stupid piece of dog shit. You know, like you just little troll turd just dried up on the sidewalk. I hope someone just scoops you up and dumps you. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, he's going on a rant.
But so I'll say, like, unless she makes it abundantly clear that she's willing to be approached by you, then leave her alone. Like, and if you can't tell, then leave her alone. And so, like, I'm setting a full exception that if a woman is at a bar and is like looking around and making eye contact with everybody, like not eye contact because she's looking for a friend, but like in a friendly way, like I'm
She's
here
not
to
on her
meet people,
phone.
or I am,
Yeah. Yeah, she's got the open shoulder. Like her body language is showing that she'd like to interact with other people. Then there's your chance of like, hey, my name is so and so, blah 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 blah. Or if like even, and I go back to the grocery store scenario because that's the one where I got a lot of hate in the
right.
past for, of like if you accidentally just natural reaction, if you accidentally bump into someone while you were buying something and you're like, oh, sorry about that, and then you run into them in another aisle or something and it's like another natural interaction, you're like, oh my God, then yeah, you could talk to them and like have an interaction because that shit happened. But like stalking, there's like a fine line between approaching someone and stalking and it being natural. And a lot of the times when you're like, oh, I'm going to approach her, it comes off as you're fucking stalking me. Why did this creepy guy just come up to me to say hello, to present himself to me? I didn't even know he was near me. And it's honestly more scary because you're just minding your own business, headphones in your own bubble. And then someone comes in where you weren't paying attention. You're like, fuck, was he behind me? Like, how did I miss this? And yeah, but they don't understand that because it's like, well, it's a public space.
It's this inability to understand nuance and to understand like yes, if you just are walking down the street and you make eye contact with somebody and you're just like, hey, and you just keep walking,
Good morning. Yeah.
that's
whatever.
perfectly okay because you're not doing it because of who they are, that they're a man or a woman or whatever. Like that's just normal human behavior. And people get very upset. Well, I just can't even say hi to people anymore, blah blah blah. But if you're going up to someone specifically because they're a woman, that's when it starts to become this problem.
Because what's your intention behind it?
Right.
Why are you saying hi? Are you
Yeah.
saying hi? If it's not you passing them saying good morning because you're walking down the sidewalk, why are you going up to someone unless like, hey, you dropped your wallet or hey, da da da, like an actual reason? If it's just because they're a woman and you think she's attractive, you're always in the fucking wrong for that. I don't know how many times we
Exactly.
have
Well
to say
done.
that.
Yes.
Well done. Yeah.
No,
I'm a
no,
woman
like
with
that's
opinions. Ooh.
no, like I mean that's such a like that you're automatically in the wrong, and I think that is the statement. That's what's like, it's that succinct, and no amount of getting defensive and shitty about it from a man's perspective is going to fix that. So like, but men decide, oh, instead of listening or learning, they're going to be shitty. You know, they're going to argue with this, and they all seem to ignore the once again. She will make it abundantly clear that she's willing to be approached. Like, and I'm like, that's because they will say, well, how do I even meet people? Or this is why everybody's single, or what? You just can't, like, this isn't how it used to be. And I'm like, no, it's always kind of been this way, that people who want to be approached will make it very clear. And people
How would they feel if a creepy guy came up to them and started telling them they were hot or whatever? Because I'm pretty sure those people are homophobic to begin with. Let's
100%.
Let's just call a spade a spade.
Yes,
Pretty sure they're homophobic. So if an older guy or whatever came up to them and started talking to them like they would do a woman who's a stranger to them, they wouldn't like it.
Right.
The fuck? Like,
yep.
They've obviously never been put in that situation and ever felt uncomfortable in the public space. So they're just like, oh, well, it's normal. No, like consider someone else's thoughts and opinions and situations before you enter their personal space.
If you try to reverse it on them, like, well, how would you feel about being approached? Oh, I'd love it if a beautiful woman came up and approached me. Well, what if someone?
You can't pick that,
right?
You
exactly.
can't pick that.
Exactly.
The fuck no.
Exactly.
I would, well, and then that leads to our next point of like women and this situation. I'm not sure when you're going to get to that, but I'm like, oh, let's go to it.
Yeah, no, that was actually what I was leaning into. Is that then I do. I have these women who tell me like who will comment and be like, "Oh well, don't speak for me. I want to be approached." Blah blah blah. And I don't want to say they're always older, but they're almost always older. And I don't want to say that. I would say that probably 99% of the time they're white, older, like just women who like they have this kind of gentlemanly concept, or they're just
They're
have
from
tons
small towns where
yeah,
that's
or
just
tons of internalized misogyny, like whatever. But like, I don't mind being approached as long as he, says no respectfully, or as long as he, I'm sorry, as long as he understands, and is respectful when I say no or whatever. And I'm like,
but you never know that. Like that's the whole fucking point.
that's exactly right.
Oh, I'm shouting. I'm sorry, guys.
And I try to even say, I even try to say to them, yes, that's why I'm telling men to leave you alone unless you want to be approached. Well, how are they supposed to know that? I'm not good at like giving off body language. I was like, it's not something you give off. It's just when you want to talk to people, it's a thing that people do. It's a natural. Now, if you're neurodivergent and like that, we had some people like, well, I'm autistic. I don't give off those same signals. Well, then maybe err on the side of caution and leave people alone. But like, then if you're a woman who wants to attract people, like you want to attract men, then read up on body language and make specific eye contact with people, smile at them, like things like that, that you can use to make contact. But these women are like listening to all these horror stories and then being like, well, I like
It
to
wouldn't
be
happen to
approached.
me.
Well, you're right. And yeah, I feel like they've never had a man reject a man and then have him get angry. And I had one woman and I said, please Google women being murdered by men they rejected. And she's like, oh well, yeah, these articles, but just like that's not. I'm fine with them as long as they walk away respectfully. I'm like, but what if they don't?
What
Like,
if they're in that article and you didn't get to fucking choose and you're just that's the bag that you were given? That's the situation you're in. Oh, well,
Yep.
my bad. I got a bad one and now he's going to fucking kill me. I
Yeah.
mean, like going back to my situation in Las Vegas, he seemed nice and cool and then she said no and I was like, shit's getting scary. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave. And he wasn't fucking getting it. Like you can't tell based off of what they look like if they're going to be shitty or not. Actually, you can tell somewhat if they're alpha male and then you're like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
yeah.
You're kinda giving me
There's some
shitty boy
there's some
vibes,
guys who
but-
give off that signal instantly that they're you're like, oh no, this yeah. There is a creep vibe, but then a lot of people are just seem to be normal, nice people, and then all of a sudden they just turn like fucking Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde into these awful people when they get rejected. It's ridiculous. I think that it's it's really just not. It's just a matter of like respect of someone. Like if you actually are interested in someone, and then like because you want to date them. I don't know how to say this. I why are you approaching this person? It's not usually because you want to date them. It's because you just think they're hot, right? I mean,
and then what? And
right.
then what?
But like, if the only reason you're approaching someone is because you're like, oh, they're hot, because you don't know anything about them. They're a strange woman. That's a strange woman. You just like how they look in that outfit, or you like whatever, or they look like your mom, or whatever it is. And so you were like, I really want to talk to this person. You're already objectifying them. You're already thinking they're hot. I want to fuck them. So I need to talk to them. I am entitled to get in their face and talk to them. And that is not okay from the beginning. That is default disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I I don't know how many times you could say it. It's just leave women. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to it because it's like I obviously agree with you. And so what? You think she's hot? You're not gonna
Right.
fuck. Like you could think anyone's hot. You're not gonna fuck a celebrity by going up to them and saying like, "Oh, you look pretty in that dress." Like someone at the grocery store approaching them saying, "Oh, you look pretty." You're not gonna fuck them either. And a lot of the times when you approach women and that's like your thought of, "Oh, she's pretty. I want to tell her." She's like, "I don't want to. I'm not interested. I'm not. I don't know what."
Right.
what-
No. You're well,
but-
like there has to be mutual
it's like
attraction.
it's not the
but-
like you could be approached like I could be approached by a really hot guy like me being single approached by a really hot guy if I'm not in the mental space to want that. I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like let me just live my. I'm like, yes, I might be single. Yes, I might be attractive. Yes, I might be in the public space or whatever. But if that's not what I'm wanting right now, because that's not the fucking vibe I'm giving off, I don't care if all the other circumstances are check the boxes of you could approach me. I'm still not in the mental state where I want someone to fucking talk to me and tell me I'm pretty. I'm just living my life. You live yours and leave me alone.
And I think that that's really the way that people, I mean, men, we're talking to the men, not that the men by now are still listening to men who do this behavior, but I'm hoping maybe like there are women in their lives who'll be like, hey, you do this all the time, like please don't do, like maybe they'll talk to them. But just once again, if there's just a person who's traditionally by current beauty standards attractive, just existing in public, you're not entitled to their time just because your dick got hard when you looked at them. Like that does not entitle you to go up and just approach them. And it's not because they're special. It's because you're not entitled to someone else, to a woman's space or time. And if she's giving off body language that says, oh, come up and talk to me, I want to talk to people, then it's okay. And once again, if you can't tell if someone's giving off body language that they want to be approached, then leave them the fuck alone, because you want to err on the side of giving people their personal space. But if you do approach, if she does have this open body language, she has to also find you interesting and attractive. So you just going up and asking her out without having any idea who she is, just because you like how she looks, shows that you are a shallow piece of shit, like immediately, because you're not even trying to talk and see if there's any common areas. You're just like, oh, I want to put my penis in this. And that's all it is. It's just a hole for you to put your dick in. And that's why it's so offensive.
Even from my perspective of being single at a bar and seeing a hot guy, I'm going to fucking test the waters and not be a fucking idiot to go up to a guy that I think is hot.
Right, exactly.
Because it's just being a person and not wanting to come off like a fucking creep / asshole in general. So like, you play the game at the bar, you see if they're making eye contact your way, you try, then you kind of get the idea of if they're around friends or what the situation, you kind of, you're dancing, doing your own thing, but you kind of look over like, oh, he's so cute. Okay, he's over there still. I might make a move, I might not, but then you kind of see if you build that chemistry from across the room or whatever, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to shoot my shot because we've given each other good vibes, and then you go from there. But you don't just go, he's hot on the other side of the room, I'm going to just walk over to that fucking stranger and say hello. I wouldn't do that for men. Why the fuck do men feel compelled to do that for women?
Because of the patriarchy and male privilege, and they feel entitled to women's time. There literally was a dating coach who said, man, if you're having trouble building up the confidence to go talk to a hot woman at the bar, just know that your attraction to her is enough. That how she looks is enough. And I'm like, no, dude, that's kidding? Yeah, you are not entitled to someone just because you think they're hot. Like that's not okay.
I don't understand men. Like, your opinion doesn't I don't fucking need it. Like, I don't need it.
Not all opinions are worth it, and men have just grown up being told that their opinions are worth everything.
Oh yeah, because they don't have their male white privilege anymore. So this is them gripping at straws as the last thing that they thought they got.
Right.
And now they're being told they don't even have this, which they never should have had in the beginning and felt entitled to this. And now they're grasping for straws going, but no. Like, anybody could think anything about me. I don't give a fuck about their opinions. But why do you think I give a fuck about yours? Goddamn.
I do want to say, it's one thing I also said in one of my videos that I think shoot your shot is a disgusting term.
Shoot your cum shot. No, is that where you're going with that? Yeah.
No, I don't know about, it's not that. It's just like something about shooting your shot. Like, you're just like, I would fuck her. Let me just shoot my shot. Like, it's got like this kind of offhand thing to it, because I hear so many male dating coaches use it, like, as far as that goes. But then someone came to me and said that, no, there's actually a lot of roots in just like people of color using it, and like in like you only like in basketball and stuff like that, and so then like if people trying to do better in their world and they shoot their shot to try to elevate themselves, and so
I
I was
think
like,
of it from a career aspect of like
right,
shoot
and
your
so
shot, like make that pitch or
it's
do
funny you said
whatever.
that just because like I brought that up as a thing like with the whole leave women alone thing, and now I'm realizing that I think it's just when used in like a dating concept, I feel like sometimes it's like it's got kind of a just I don't know, like the undertones are not great for it. Like if it's
No, it's not. Yeah,
really,
that's all I'm
yeah.
thinking.
So
Cum shots. Yeah, shoot
no,
your
no,
cum
I'm
shot.
not even thinking cum shots. You keep going back to cum, like shoot your shot. Like I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just thinking just like the idea of, oh yeah, it's essentially like, oh you'll do. I'll shoot my shot, like basically like I'm gonna shoot my shot because, why not? If I'm lucky, I'll get to fuck somebody. If I'm not, okay, you know what I mean? Like
See,
it's this like casual approach to.
I saw it as like a confidence thing of like
Yeah,
if you're
I can see
nervous
that too.
talking to someone and like you know them and you like want to talk to them or whatever, it's like shoot
Right,
your
right.
shot,
Yeah,
like message them on the dating app, shoot your shot, like in those instances, not like shoot your shot and try to fuck them. No, that's way
right.
too far.
And in Sarah's mind, shoot your shot and come all over their face.
I mean, or that, yeah.
So I think let's we're gonna start once again, and I feel like this is just just gonna be simplified, but like we're gonna say leave women alone, and like let's identify scenarios like a woman walking down the street.
Leave alone. Leave her
Yeah.
alone.
Okay, if she's at the grocery store,
Leave her alone.
the bar, the gym.
Don't bother her. Don't correct her
How
form. Leave
about
her
how
alone.
about an apartment complex? Do you want to talk about that one real quick before we wrap this up?
Oh yeah, let's please tell that
Okay.
story.
Yes. So this is a woman who moved into her apartment, and her downstairs neighbor came and knocked on her door every day for 4 days straight. Every time he saw her come home.
Come on. Already that's fucking
Yeah,
problematic.
that's problematic. And she opened the door finally on the fourth day, and he just handed her his phone number. And so she accepted it because like she didn't know what to do, and she felt terrified because she's a young, I think she's probably in her 20s, and he's like 20 or 30 years older than she is.
And this was not, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Here's my phone number if you in case you need anything. Welcome.
Good
This was
point.
not
Good
that.
point.
That
No, this is
that
just
was
like
not
here's
it.
my phone number. And so she just ignores it after she gets it. And then he continues to come back and come back and come back. And finally, and she's terrified. And finally he catches her leaving her car and coming up and runs out and was like, hey, you should give me your, you never called me. So like, give me your number and I'll call it right now to make sure or whatever. So he basically forces her
Yeah, because where's she gonna go? Her home where he knows she lives, into her car where he could, you don't know if he could bash her fucking, I don't know. You don't know.
and she can't give him a fake number because he's like, I'll call it right now so I know I have the right number. So she can't even give him a fake number. So she gives him her number. And of course he keeps calling and texting, leaving messages and just continuously bombarding her with phone calls and messages until she finally like has just this breaking point. It's just like, I am not interested. Please leave me alone. And then he like starts leaving voicemail after voicemail, please begging her for a chance. Like, I just give us a chance. Give us a chance. Like she doesn't know anything about him.
Like you stalked, and this is going back to what I was saying earlier. You're stalking, like you doing that approaching thing. You thought it was you being manly or whatever heroic bullshit thing. It's stalking.
Well, and
4 days
he
in a
didn't know
row.
anything about her other than he thought she was cute. And he thinks, give us a chance. Like he hasn't even and also he wasn't texting her to be like, so tell me more about yourself. He was just like, we should go out. Let me take you out. I want to take you. Like, that's all it was.
So she can get murdered. Perfect.
Right. So she's terrified. She added new locks on her doors. She told the leasing office, he said, there's nothing that we can do. So she's not renewing her lease. She's moving at the end of when her lease is up because of this guy. And there were people who were calling her at fault, telling her that she was in the wrong for it.
What did she do wrong? She was
Never should have answered the door, never should have taken the phone number, never should have given him her phone number, should have just said no from the beginning and would have saved all these problems.
You don't understand. Like, yes, that
No, I don't
sounds-
think that's
no,
true.
no,
I don't
but
actually think it's true.
If you take all of that shit out, though, in a textbook scenario, no sounds like an easy solution, but it's not the solution. So yeah, you could be like, oh, you should have said no from the beginning and it would have solved your problem. Yeah, A equals B. Like, 1 plus 1 + 1 = 2. Cool, a math equation. But when you add in all the other psychological bullshit behind it, you can't just say no. You can't. Like, it seems like the right answer, but you feel uncomfortable. You're already in your home. So you're at a weird playing field of this person knows where I live now. I'm just going to smile and say yes to make the situation less awkward. Okay, I'm going to take the card. He has already stalked me 4 days in a row. Hopefully, me taking the card will be done. Then he approaches her at her car. She's feeling uncomfortable. She can't get away. If she says no, then he could lash out. Like, no is not it seems like it if you look like with all the other context taken out, but it's not. No is not the like that saying no
Right.
early on was not the answer.
No, I mean, absolutely. Because if you look at how he reacted to everything, he would not have reacted well to a no. Because when
shit.
she finally did tell him a no, he went ballistic as well. So it's just yet another example.
And no one is surprised by that either because of all
Right.
the other things that had happened before then.
Yep. And so it's another example that if you live in an apartment complex with someone and you think, oh, they're attractive, leave them alone. Like you can get to know them at some point through if it happens naturally. Like that's the thing is let life happen naturally. If you really need to meet people, go on dating apps. It's why they exist. So
Go
that
to
you
a
can
group
meet other
meetup.
people who are also looking to date.
Yeah.
And if you need to socialize, go to meetups. You know, but because these men will do is that they will be so like extreme, and they'll just say things like, "Well, I guess I'll just never talk to anybody ever again," or "Oh, I'll never meet
Please
another
don't.
human being."
Please fucking don't.
Yeah,
Please.
just like, yeah,
I don't feel
please
sorry
don't.
for you.
Yeah,
Cry
just
in your
go.
mother's basement. I don't fucking care. I
Exactly.
don't care.
So when is it okay to approach a woman?
Never. Leave them alone.
Well, there's one time, and that's
There's
if
one oh,
if
there's a
I'm
if
saying
the body I mean, obviously, if the body language is there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But like that, if they make it very obvious, a woman makes it very obvious that she's willing to be approached, then it's okay. But even then, be fucking respectful. And as soon as they look at your dumb ass and say, "I'm not interested," or they don't give you a yes, they say anything other than a yes, walk away respectfully and leave them alone.
I think all of the men who are disagreeing with this entire episode need to take a class on handling rejection and go from there.
AKA therapy.
AKA, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I really.
But that hurts their manhood too, because men can't be weak, apparently.
Well, it is funny. One of those, I think, like the pickup artist stuff is they'll sometimes tell men to get used to getting no's, and then it won't, once it doesn't hurt as much, you'll be, it'll just be one of those things you brush it off. The downfall to that, and this is the other weird side of the coin, is that men who are too comfortable with rejection ignore the no.
That's true. They have blinders because they're just like, oh, I'll just keep asking
Yeah,
until I get a
it's just
hard
no.
no.
I don't care. Whatever. It's a fucking no. What does it matter? It's not. Yeah. They'll just ignore the fucking no, and it's like you can't win. So, I think the best takeaway, and this is one of the simplest takeaways we've ever had in any episode, is just leave women the fuck alone. And I think that's really like, what else can we say in that situation?
Or another takeaway is download Adam's ringtone and just play that when they approach you at a bar or someplace. You just play that of like, I feel uncomfortable. I'm going to use my buddy Adam to help me in this scenario. Play the song.
That's why somebody suggested they wanted a T-shirt that it was like whatever it said on the front doesn't matter, but on the back it just says "Leave me the fuck alone," and I was like, that's pretty funny. That's why the thing I was talking about on Cameo. Somebody would be like, you know what? I'm gonna hire Adam to be like, hey, listen, you little fucking shit weasel. Okay, she's sick of you calling her every day. Leave her the fuck alone. She's not interested in you. She will never be interested in you. You were gonna die alone, and that's okay because nobody will ever love you. Goodbye. And then she can send him the video. That might escalate things though, so I don't know. But maybe
with you, yeah. I'm saying
so
stick with the song and leave women the fuck alone, and those are our takeaways.
Yes. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about with that aspect of it. I want to hear your, whatever your horror stories, etc. You can share them. You can tell them to us on Instagram at Dating Kinda Sucks, or on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/DKS podcast.
If you disagree with anything we said on this episode, ignore this. But if you agreed with us, leave us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Please leave us an actual written review. That means a lot for us. And be sure to follow Dating Kinda Sucks on Spotify as well.
And rate it on Spotify too. You always forget to say that part. Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that feature though. I still have it. So
I don't have it, but it's shown for other podcasts, but I've never seen it on ours. But yeah, I know people have said
that's
that
why I'm like,
that.
I don't know if it's possible. I know you say it, but I never see it.
You can always follow us on our personal Instagrams too. You can follow us on our TikTok. Sarah's is simply Sarah G _, and I'm at Adam Avitable. And of course, we're on Patreon for $5 a month. You can support us. We have bonus episodes all the time, and that is at patreon.com/dating kinda
DKS podcast.
Patreon.com/DKS podcast. I was scrolling for it as I was saying it. I know.
Adam.
I know. And we haven't actually recorded because we were so great. We had everything planned, and then we both kind of got sick. I started traveling and everything, so all of our good planning went to shit. But we will have a new episode next week too, a conversation with a really cool thing. As long as it plans out, I'm not gonna say what it is yet.
I know. Don't jinx us because it's not in stone yet. Yeah.
But if it works out, it'll be a really cool one that everybody definitely doesn't want to miss because I think we're gonna also get some great stories. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, just leave us alone. Leave me alone.
Just leave
Everybody
Sarah alone.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Leave Sarah the fuck alone. And we'll be back next week with a new episode.
Until next time.
Whether you're married or single or poly or ace, or hanging out with swingers back at your place, listen to us as we give no fuck on Tinder and Bumble and plenty of yucks, trying and having no luck, because we all know dating kinda sucks. Sarah and Adam are two of a kind. He says stupid shit and she doesn't mind. They're not doing this show to make any buck. Life as a chicken whose feathers they pluck. Why does it work? Well, here is the crux. They both know dating kinda sucks. Dating kinda sucks.